Hello, welcome back to A Song in the Heart. I am Jonathan, aka Roadblock, and I am going to be DMing this final session of this little campaign. It's been a wonderful 5 weeks. I've really enjoyed playing with these folks here, and we will meet them briefly for the last time, at least for now. And before we do that, we have some announcements and the Battle of the Bards Kickstarter still going. Last 2 days, so get in on the action at thebardbook.com. Follow Apotheosis Studios and give them a follow. Get in on the Kickstarter. Last chance before it's done. And there's some very exciting stretch goals coming up for the last bit. So keep an eye on that.
If you're watching on Twitch, 30 hours left, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
31.
There you go.
So if you're watching it on Twitch, give the channel a follow or a sub. If you're watching on YouTube, sub on the channel and hit the little bell to be notified of any more Gilding Light videos. Also tomorrow, tune in at 1 p.m. For the new episode of Poison Tulips with Ryan Omega. And I believe that is it for now. So we will move on to introduce our players. First up is D'Angelo.
Hey everyone, my name is D'Angelo Murillo, and I love tabletop RPGs. I organize a lot of events for our community to promote inclusivity and diversity and everything like that. Just want to hang out with the homies and have a great time, and I love this series, and it's been so much fun. I get to play with everyone, and yeah, that's me.
All right, next up, Jen.
I'm Jen. I'm the low Zelda around everywhere, stream a lot of indie things, and do a lot of yelling about tabletop when I'm not playing tabletop. So this has been a hoot and a half, and I'm very excited to see where it goes.
All right, next up, Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm at DonutDude777 on Twitter, and you can find me doing ukulele stuff on YouTube. And I play Lyric Arihinu, and I'm kind of the guy who can tell you that even a blind guy can see that D&D is awesome.
All right. Next up, Utahime.
Hi guys, I'm Utahime. I'm a cosplayer and streamer, and also too just lover of all things Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPG related. You can find me at Utahime Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, here on Twitch, and Brianna DeCoster on Twitter. And I'm going to be playing Dia, your dancing bard / paladin. And I am going to miss this group. This has been so much fun. Thank you, Jonathan, for this amazing story you've been telling the past few weeks. It's been so awesome, and I'm going to miss playing. But we're going to have fun today.
We are. I think this is going to be a good send-off for this group, which is rounded out by Vicky.
Hey there. Hi, my name is Vicky. I am Glitter Havoc on all the things. I have been playing TTRPGs since high school and am super thrilled to be playing Karis Lighthoof, the Satyr Barbarian. And she is really, really fond of small critters and drumming along with the music that her friends play.
All right. Now, this is going to be relevant because we're going to be dropping into an encounter here in a second. So do you like our players? I hope you do. Because if you do, you can give bits to give them advantage on things. I believe everyone has an advantage right now. And as well as me, I also have an advantage.
No, you don't.
I don't?
No, definitely. You do.
I'm going to roll an inside check on that.
I can't. My real life deception is very similar to every other character I play. There's like a -8 modifier on this. No,
yeah, that's me.
You have an advantage.
Thank you again, Togepi.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. So if you see these players who you love getting in trouble, then go ahead and donate some bits and give them a hand here. So to that point, to recap last time, you guys have been on the road from Yartar to Waterdeep to deliver the Songforged Michael to their new career at the new Oleum Bard College in Waterdeep. Along the way, there have been some encounters. You guys have encountered abyssal chickens, a wedding that was almost ruined by a drunken halfling band, and now you have encountered a portal that has taken you into a weird, we'll say, culinary arena. I don't remember if Kitchen Stadium is trademarked or not, but you have encountered a glamorous looking fox creature who has greeted you very, very over the top and flourish, just lots and lots of grandeur with this person. And he has introduced his iron golem chef, or just iron chef, if you will, who is a literal iron golem wearing a chef jacket and a chef's toque. So he has greeted you and continues. Now, I know you are not from my little realm here. However, you may earn your way back by defeating my Iron Chef in a culinary battle. Who will decide if you win? Well, certainly not me. I'm the chairman. This is all mine. I just run it. Behold, your judges. And off to the side of this kitchen stadium, where there had been a long table with no one sitting at it, in a flash of arcane energy appears 3 forms. One of them looks like a jar. And then you notice there's something in that jar. It's a brain. And the brain in the jar says, "Hello, my name is Claude, and I am here because the chairman requested me. Also, I like food somehow. I don't know how that works." And next to them is who else did I have here? You see what looks like a vulture person, almost. This creature has a long sort of avian neck that ends in a beak, with wings that they apparently have folded in front of them, almost like a cloak. Those of you with any sort of planar knowledge, which you're bards, you probably would have figured it out by now. This is definitely a Varrock. But you also notice that this Varrock has a monocle, and he looks upon you and says, "I appreciate good cuisine. I look forward to the dishes that you have to serve." And the final figure is tied up. They are restrained in what looks like a sort of a Hannibal Lecter setup, definitely a dolly that would be wheeled in, and they are bound to it. And it's probably good that they are, because this is definitely a blue slod that has been bound here, with just its little clawy fingers able to get out to the table and feed its very wide mouth. It would introduce itself, except it's just making snarly noises, like just bound there, occasionally picking up the fork and looking at it and putting it down very gently, and then
Respect for kitchen utensils. All right, I like it.
And the chairman says, "Now you will utilize your side of the kitchen. My Iron Chef will use his side. And you will be cooking dishes of your own design based on a common ingredient that is here." And he makes a pose, and coming up from the floor is a pillar and you see that it has stacks and stacks of something on it. Thanks to the chat last week, I asked them to choose between vegetable, fruit, and fish was the unanimous consent or vote on what the dish was going to be. And as it comes up, go ahead and make me a nature check, y'all.
Ooh, that's a 19 on the die.
That's
Okay.
a 6.
Okay, Hector, these look like bean fish.
Yep, it's like all I know how to make is hot dogs and mac and cheese.
Well,
we
Okay.
can use that.
A 10 for Dia, and then
Okay.
Dia turns to the group. Back in Musatari, we had chefs to do this sort of thing. Oh no.
Oh gods. All right. Well, I got a dirty 20.
Okay, all right. So Lyric and so for everyone except Lyric and Opal, these just look like mean fish. They've got very nasty teeth, and they are a little bit bigger than, say, a trout or those kind of variety of fish. Opal and Lyric can see that these are creatures known as quippers. And quippers they're like piranhas on steroids. They are simply bigger, meaner piranhas. Whereas if you took a piranha and gave it D&D stats, it would be nothing. Like even a swarm of piranhas wouldn't be much for an adventurer. A single quipper, though, can be kind of nasty, and a swarm of quippers is definitely nasty. However, you are presented with a stack of dead quippers with which to make your dish. As the chairman declares, "Quipper!" and across the top of the Iron Chef portrait, in almost like arcane sort of sparkly letters, "Quipper Battle" appears.
I think these piranha jumped the shark.
You have 60 minutes to prepare dishes for our judges, and then they will decide who is the superior chef. And now, as my father said before him in our kitchen stadium, LA Cuisine!
All right, Opal, you got this.
All right, y'all. Let's hold on. We got it. You said mac and cheese, and you said you had chefs. So all right. We're ready. Let's go. All right, this is what we need everybody to do. So first thing I would like to do, Jonathan, with your permission, can I get a little loosey-goosey with the spell? Because this is kind of just a fun thing. Be like, I feel like we could use a little bit of extra help, and I would like to cast, what is the base level for this? I would like to, 3rd level, cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
And what appears around me is 4 spectral fire genasi men.
Okay.
Hector recognizes that one of them. These are my brothers, like spectral versions of them. And I'd like to be loosey-goosey with Spirit Guardians and just have a little bit of extra help in the kitchen with my spectral brothers.
All right, yeah. So you do see that the chairman makes note of you casting a spell. You see him almost tut you and stop you, but then he holds back. He's like, this is different than the last group that came in. They tried to hurt me with their magic, but
are there blood splashes on the floor or anything?
No.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, great.
Nope, you don't see anything.
Okay, cool.
I'll allow this.
Chairman,
well
I
done.
take my cooking very seriously. I would never harm you. I want to blow you away with our wonderful taste. Now, let's go. And I just start like giving orders like who needs to do what.
All right. So as the Iron Chef descends into his kitchen, he immediately picks up a giant basket and starts takes half of the portion of quipper and just
that is
and then with
way too much fish.
Preternatural speed starts taking out each fish and then and you see him start getting to work. It doesn't appear that he has any help, this iron golem. It just seems like he's on his own, but he seems like sort of a cooking force. He never stops, he never rests, he just keeps going.
Now, the real question, DM, since we're altering spells, would it be possible to use my searing smite to help sear some fish?
Sure, and I'll say at this point, with that, we don't need to role play the entire hour, but
Perfect.
as under Opal's supervision, you guys are going to need to craft 3 dishes, and you can definitely, I would say, Dia using a magical seer to assist the dish. What will probably happen is there'll be some rolls involved in crafting those. So if you want to make like a using cooking utensils or a dexterity check, anyone who wants to make it, Dia, why don't you go ahead and give me just an attack roll to see how just to see how much control you have over this searing smite. Like, do you overdo it and just like completely destroy the fish, or is it like just enough?
Okay. So with that, okay, so are we doing with my bonus to
Yeah,
the...
like just we'll just say it's a as if you were attacking with the smite.
Okay, perfect.
Attacking this challenge.
So that's actually a 21.
Okay. You are able to assist Opal in the searing of some of these quippers, and as Opal looks over them with apparently the chef's eye of the group, she sees that these are seared perfectly for whatever use you guys are going to have for them. And you do see that the Iron Chef is working on 3 dishes. And while you guys are getting things together and starting to prep the fish, and there's other ingredients there, you basically, there's a magical basket that you reach into, and it pulls out like mundane things like potatoes or lettuce or spices, whatever like sort of non-magical cooking ingredients can come from these bins. So you have access to pretty much anything you want. And you see that the Iron Chef on the other side is taking advantage of that. As you guys are cooking, you notice everyone roll me an Arcana check real quick.
Oh, a natural 5.
Okay.
Oh, me too. So a 9.
17.
13.
21.
13? 21? All right.
13.
Lyric and Opal do not have any idea what this creature is that just rolled up close to their side. Dia, you've heard stories of things from the far realms, abominations that are really nasty. And Hector and Karis, this is a gibbering mouther that's right next to you. But instead of attacking or starting to gibber, a mouth forms and says, "This is Fukusan. Looks like the challengers are going into their ingredients, and oh, this one challenger has used a searing smite on one of the dishes. We'll see how that works out." And the mouth disappears into the roiling flesh and eyes.
As it crawls across the room.
Yeah, it rolls over to the other side, and you hear it reporting on what the Iron Chef is doing as well. Apparently, their Fukusan is a gibbering mouther.
Well, usually after hangovers, Opal would make us food to make us come back to life essentially. And I was never trusted with anything else other than chopping ingredients. So I just immediately started taking vegetables and potatoes and begin to peel them with my dagger and trying to help out.
Good plan. Good plan.
All right. Go ahead and give me. Do you have proficiency with cooking tools or just dagger work? Intricate dagger work to make murders.
I think I am proficient with daggers because dexterity.
Right.
Cooking tools, I don't think so. It's not in the criminal spy background.
All right. Well, you've done this for Opal before. Go ahead and make me an attack with one of your daggers. We'll see how effective your prep work is.
Never using this dice again. It is a 9.
All right. So you are definitely skilled in.
You did have advantage, remember? If you wish.
You can.
This seems super low key, so I'll hold off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the vegetables that you're chopping up, they are definitely chopped. They could use a little more work, a little more fine sort of a knife work, but they are competently chopped. Like for what you do for Opal normally for hangovers, it's fine.
Did I cut myself?
No, it wasn't that bad. If you rolled like a 1 or something, yeah,
Okay,
probably,
then it would be
there would be some blood in the dish. So as your guys are cooking, what sort of dishes are you guys making? You got to make 3.
Well, okay. So I'm assuming
Chocolat poisson gâteau.
Yeah.
That's French for chocolate fish cake.
You know that Dia would always want to go with a fish curry. So she definitely made a suggestion for that. Whether or not we make it as a group, that is to be determined.
Yeah, it's like I feel like a curry works. We could do like a nice ceviche thing going on.
Okay.
Street
All right.
tacos. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got on the table a fish curry a ceviche, and fish tacos. Anything else in the running?
It depends on if I can stick my bird call staff into that bucket thing and get some chickens. We could do some surf and turf.
Okay. You do get as you call, you get a you get it what looks like a smaller chicken. It looks like it called a squab, a quail, and a chicken for you.
Oh, we got other options.
Karis will go ahead and start dressing the birds, the little
Okay.
birds.
Go ahead and give me an attack or a and this would be like a dexterity. Well, I don't know. Like, are you dressing the birds with a knife with very fine work? Or are you going to pound the bird and its guts fly out both ends?
Well, first it's got to be, dispatched, and assuming that they're, were they alive coming from the staff? Okay, okay, so we don't have to go quite that far.
Everything coming from the bin is like food stuff.
Yeah, no, mostly, just getting rid of the feathers and getting the bird cleaned up for whatever cuts are going to happen to it.
Go ahead and make me a dexterity check. We'll just see how well Karis accomplishes this task.
You said dexterity?
Sure.
Okay. 17.
All right. You expertly both defeather and degut the birds. You're just like, you are flying with that knife. Clearly the kitchen is no strange battlefield for you.
It's usually not quite so shiny and technical. It's usually more of a block of wood and whatever sharp is laying around, but this is pretty nice.
Yeah, this kitchen is definitely very strange for most of you. It might not be for Dia. Dia might be while Dia may not have actually worked in these kitchens, if she ever wandered into a kitchen at her royal palace, they probably more resembled what you see here than anything you guys are familiar with.
I would like to try to inspire Dia with just a little les poissons. How I love les poissons. Yes, I love little fishies, don't you?
All right, go ahead and make a
I feel inspired.
So what I'm doing is I'm compiling some rolls that'll help determine the how well your dishes do here.
And I'd also like to cast heat metal to help cook things as needed.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and make a what would this be? What's a gauge? Go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage as you cheer Dia on.
Also, yeah, that's true. I'm also gonna give inspiration to Dia as well.
Okay.
To increase it. Yeah.
Guys.
And I'm probably going around being like, all right, like, so this is how you chop things without catching your finger, like, and kind of giving some instruction, like, on how to do stuff, and also giving her like a little, friendly pat, wink, nudge, inspiration.
I'm just like Water Boy, where I take the handkerchief and like wipe the beads of sweat from everyone's forehead and then in water.
I have so much respect for those who work in our kitchens now. I'm going to make sure that my mother and father give them a raise. This is a lot of work. She's like still.
That was a 27 persuasion.
27. Okay.
1 copper per year. It's like...
All right. You all have been doing your best to help clearly head chef Opal here do the best with these dishes. Opal, do you have proficiency with kitchen tools?
I do.
All right. I want you to name off one of the dishes that you're going to be making, and then I want you to make a roll with your kitchen tools. Since your team has been extremely helpful, with the exception of Hector and his chopped up fish things, but everyone else, especially Lyric, going around and pepping everybody up and making sure all your knives are sharp with heat and making sure that everything is going smoothly in that department, you're going to have advantage on each one of these rolls.
Perfect.
So Opal, go ahead, and what is your first dish?
I will Did we decide which 3 we were actually for sure doing?
I think that's up to you.
Oh God.
Yeah,
don't
you're
know.
Yeah,
the
I think
head
it was
chef.
the fish curry, fish
Ceviche,
tacos,
fish
and
curry.
ceviche. Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
And
Ceviche, fish
before,
curry, and what?
go ahead.
Ceviche, fish curry, and what?
Fish tacos.
Oh wait,
Fish
no,
tacos, okay.
the birds.
Yeah.
The birds.
Okay.
Oh, I was
see,
saying
this is
surf
why I
and turf.
asked the question.
Yes. Yeah, little birds. Whatever we're doing, the small
And
birds.
I want to try to assist. So basically, with my bardic inspiration, what I'm going to do is help her out with presenting, but it's going to basically be like a graceful, almost like elegant dance to place every plate perfectly when
Okay.
she does that. So that'll be what I do. Like,
Okay,
with-
so I've
yeah.
effectively got an inspiration from you.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
You've got with your team's help, with everything
Cool.
that they're doing, every one of these cooking roles is going to have advantage.
Perfect. Okay. So do we want to do like if we've got the birds thing, do we want to do like tacos,
First. Mhm.
surf and turfy, and do the curry? We can kill the ceviche thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Sure.
All right. Then I will start with curry is a big thing for Opal. So let's start with that. And what am I adding to this?
So you're adding so I believe with cooking, like basically with the tools check, you use whatever skill is relevant with that tools. I would guess in this case, dexterity. And then since
that
you're
sounds right.
proficient with the tools, you would add your proficiency to that.
Okay. So you said I've got advantage. So 9, 12, 16, 18.
All right. And that was on the curry. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then I'm gonna do the surf and turfy one. We're gonna do that next. That's a natural 20.
Nice. And that
So
that
that would be a-
translates to
20, 24, that'd be a 26.
all right.
And then Hector, how you feeling about those tacos? And how you feeling about our chances in general? Do we want to spice things up with some shenanigans, or are you feeling good the way it is?
Always. Shenanigans are always something we should do. I can try to like flirt with the judges to try to give us an edge.
Oh, that would be perfect considering the shenanigans. I have something I think you need to add to this, and I'm going to hand him a vial. And we're going to add, there's a filter of love potion that I have.
Okay.
We're going to add that in.
All right. So Hector, you make your as Opal is putting these plates together, and most of the cooking is done. So Opal and Dia and everyone are actually plating and figuring out your dishes. You make your way to the judges' table, and you can tell that the chairman is talking, like is sort of like inspecting both kitchens. So he's a little distracted right now, and you see that Fukusan is also kind of like squirming around, and he's not really in the area. So you go up, and the brain in the jar notices you, and you see that getting up close to this jar, it's a very ornate sort of like large canister, and you can clearly see the brain sort of floating in some sort of weird fluid that's bubbling, but you're not really sure what mechanism it is. There's clearly something on the bottom and the top of the jar, and as you approach, the top of the jar sort of flashes as it speaks and says, "Oh, hello, you are one of the new contestants. We always love seeing new blood around here. Oh, don't worry, I don't really mean that. I'm right in the jar humor."
How often do you have contestants come through here?
Oh, every few years, someone will stumble upon the portal when it randomly pops up in the material plane. Time works kind of weird here, so it's fine. But yeah, I've been to a few of these, and they're always great. Sometimes the contestants get a little fighty, and well, the Iron Chef usually takes care of them. Sometimes even the chairman will get involved. He's really dangerous too.
No, well, thank you for that warning. Hopefully that is not necessary. I hope y'all enjoy your meals.
And the Varrock says, yes, I do enjoy cuisine of the plains. Might you give us a preview of what you are going to make? And you see his smile sort of like, it's weird, this bird sort of head making a big smile, and he's got these weird sharp teeth that birds don't normally have. And clearly, this isn't a bird, it's a Varrock, but still, it's a little weird.
Unsettling.
Still a little unsettling, yeah. But it's definitely contrasted to this sort of regal sort of attitude that he has. Like, he's wearing a monocle. He seems to be very well spoken. You know that demons tend to be a little more chaotic and a little more sort of bloodthirsty, and this one is very strange.
Wonderful.
And then there's of course the blue slot that is still and you don't think you'll be able to make a connection with the slot. I mean, you can try, but it seems like it'd be really hard. Do you want to focus your flirty attention on either the other two judges?
Flirt with the brain. That's all they've got.
The brain? Okay.
Yeah, entice the brain. All they can do is think.
Hector, I believe in you.
Oh God. All right. So I'll just so the brain is like right next to us.
So you've wandered over. So the judges table is sort of off to the side. It's away from the kitchen area. So you have surreptitious, you and Opal to just kind of, has sort of escorted you over here, and she's going to be heading back because she has to help without the dishes. But you have stayed at the judges table and to ostensibly try and influence their decision. So
all right, I'm going to do the Legally Blonde trick where I drop a pencil and then do the snap back. Like, I dropped my pencil.
Go ahead and make a performance check.
And as I've walked you over there, I've definitely given you an inspiration. Like,
thank you. All right, I'm gonna use my regular dice this time.
Go get him,
Pat. Yeah.
It's the butt pat inspiration.
Yes,
exactly.
The consensual among friends. Hey, you got this, but
yeah. GG. Go get him, Tiger.
Good game. Good game.
8 plus 11, which is 19, and then the inspiration was at 1d8.
Yes.
19. And then that is
we went up to D10.
26.
I'm at D10 because of the level up. Just kidding.
Oh, because you're full bard, right?
Okay,
yeah,
so
just kidding. Yeah.
So 19 plus.
So Dia, for the one I gave you, that's a D10.
Okay.
So
mine
23.
is not as high, unfortunately, Opal.
Yeah.
So it's D6 for my.
That's totally fine.
Pally.
So 23 on performance.
23 on performance. All right.
Yes.
I'm just like, after I come back up, I'm just like, hey, so it's good to see you. What's your sign? And I just like just ask.
Well, you're and he names some sort of mythical creature that is a part of the astrology somewhere. Maybe not in Faerun, but it is. I'm a Dracolich. When the moon goes in the house of the Dracolich, we get crazy sometimes.
Exactly. When it goes in retrograde, I completely understand.
Yeah, I cared more about it when I had a body, but it's fine. Yeah, I've still got this jar. Yeah, I still can do stuff.
A great jar,
Yeah.
Thick.
You know what?
It's like
You
nice.
don't want to mess with me in this jar. It's still I'm still dangerous here. Yeah, and you can tell he is. Well, actually, you're not sure of the gender, but whatever it is, this genderless braid in a contraption seems to be amiable to your flirting. You have your force of personality has overcome. I rolled a 16, Perfect. But I doubt they would. Like, it was a 16 on the die, so I don't think they have enough bonus. I was trying to look it up real quick. I didn't think
beat the 23.
You didn't think this is the route it was going to take.
Well, the braid in the jar was more flavor, but I didn't think I did need stats for him. But here we are.
Have you met us?
Hey, I was about to say, it's like, Jonathan, like you knew several of us before the stream started. Like,
let me see here.
It was gonna get weird.
Definitely do that. Like, you have a little smudge here.
Oh, thanks. Aren't you a gentleman? Yeah. what are you doing after the contest here?
Oh my god.
Well, it depends on how time works here. Because if we go back to the portal and it's been like years, then we were escorting someone, but like it's whatever. I might be free.
All right, well, we're all busy. We have lives and stuff. I go back and go back to my lab and maybe make more brains in the jars. Who knows? You got some crazy stuff up there. But yeah, call me. And his
The printout
jar-
of his like.
yeah, almost. So his
Delta
you
wave
see
scan.
you see his something happen in the bottom part of his jar, and you see arcane lights sort of light up around it, and a tray comes out, and it's holding a smooth stone that you recognize as a sending stone.
That's incredible.
Oh my god.
So you can put down a sending stone for an amorous braid in the jar as an item that
Give
you
for
have.
it. Done.
All right.
After you get dirty, you can have a little brainwashing.
There you go. Perfect. But
Dang.
Oh
Guys,
man.
they got jokes. They got jokes.
I feel like I lost
You know.
inspiration for that.
Food for thought.
There you go, there you
go.
Oh, gosh.
That's terrible.
Dear
Oh,
audience, if you want your players punished for this, you can
Punished.
give inspiration to me and
oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah. Oh, sorry. I was reading it with producers sending us messages. We'll mention it at the end here. No, it's nothing bad. We're not being censored.
Like,
We're
you guys
not
are
being-
canceled. No more
Yeah,
season
we're
2. You guys are
taking
done.
off the
Get
air
outta
after
here.
this. This is it.
Like-
Sorry. That was
Surpassed
it.
your
The
pun limit.
bad Sean jokes.
Yes.
His ukulele playing saved us, and his
Yes.
puns are killing us. Oh well.
So season
But-
2, Hector in the brain. That's what's
It's
gonna happen.
Hector. It's Hector and the
Yes,
brain.
but I'm
Dum,
amiable to being pun-ished.
Oh gosh.
We're moving on. All right.
Anyways, yes.
So you guys have created your dishes, and as you can see Hector coming back to skip in a step, and he's
Swaying my hips for sure.
Yeah, you see he might have been successful in his mission to flirt with one of the judges. All right, so as the time begins to expire, the lights in the kitchen start going crazy as you see the chairman says, the cooking has been completed. Now for the judging, please bring your dishes to the judges. And you see the Iron Chef has his dishes on one of his arms as and as he's moving, you can see that that arm is not moving at all. Like, it is steady as he brings 3 dishes for the judges. And you see that he has brought some sort of salad that looks to be its accoutrement is sort of what are they called? Croutons. Also with little quipper eyes. He's constructed a quipper eye salad, which is
Oh.
definitely a choice. He has also created a quipper sashimi with quipper caviar on the side, which looks just fantastic. And finally, for dessert, he has brought what looks like a sherbet with a quipper fin stuck on the top. And it is, he, in his robotic voice, introduces all his dishes finally with this is quipper fin sherbet, enjoy. And
Before that happens, DM, you'll see where Dia's kind of like whistling, and she's like kind of walking, and she points for a second, and she casts Bane over the dishes. I don't know if it's possible to use Bane in that way.
Let's see. Would
To make it taste a little less. She got a little nervous by the presentation there.
Go
so
ahead and
she's
make
like,
a sleight of hand check.
All right.
Can I assist by like body blocking that way? It's just like
Sure.
works on his
Go ahead
side.
and make your sleight of hand check with advantage.
So let's see here. That is that's a 22.
Okay. You you notice that the chairman looks kind of grazes his eyes over you all, but Hector, with his great dragonborn form, standing in your way, you were able to get off your spell, and you see sort of a weird, sort of tiny little miasma settle over the dishes, and so maybe it has an effect, maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Okay, as you gracefully lay the dishes in front of the judges, you can see them start sampling all the dishes, and Claude the brain in the jar. You see a little mechanical hand, like sort of take a little bit of the salad, and I'm not sure this really works for me. It's definitely a striking presentation, but the equipper just doesn't add very much, and the dressing is a little salty for me. And this is coming from someone in a vat of brine, so I think that says something for this. And you see the Varrock, who had introduced himself. I don't think he had introduced himself, but Fukusan introduces him as Death Car, and he says, but this fish curry, it's wonderful. Being from an abyssal plane myself, I know heat and I know spice, and this is absolutely incredible. The way you've managed to balance the fishy taste with the cinnamon and the rest of the curry, it's a phenomenal effort. Congratulations. And you see the blue slod. The Iron Chef has to kind of like take one of his sashimis that he's made and just sort of like just toss it into the slod's mouth, and he reacts like. If one of you had settled on the fish tacos, right, as one of your dishes.
Yes.
You are able to sort of like take a taco and put it over its mouth and then just kind of drop it. And you see the blue slod again react. He definitely has a much more pleasant reaction to your fish tacos. And you get this impression from all of his dishes. They seem to really like the sashimi and sherbet. None of them really like the salad. As for your dishes, they seem to have positive reactions to them all. And the chairman says, a fine effort from you of the material played. Well, let's tally up the votes. He puts his finger to his head. And I've tallied the votes. The winner is Chef Opal.
Yay!
Fireworks go off and
Jumping high five.
Fukusan comes up, like squirms up. A mouth appears with a couple of eyes that kind of point at you, and the mouth starts saying, "Congratulations, Opal. What are you going to do with your winnings?"
Well, clearly I need to share it with my team. This was a team effort, and we couldn't have done it without each other's help. And then I think we have all earned a vacation once we get home, because we get to go home now, right?
And therapy.
And therapy. Yeah, some of this was a little unsettling. I'm gonna be
that's
honest.
okay. You've done well, and handle it with such grace and talent. Maybe we'll have you back someday. And as he gibbers, the mouth disappears, and the chairman says, "You've done well. I will send you home with your winnings. I know how much you adventure types love your shiny things. So until next time." And the entire kitchen just is bathed in white light. And when the light clears, you guys are back on the side of the road. Michael is still standing there. They are surrounded by the animals you left them with. And you find in each of your pockets 4 diamonds, and you figure they're worth about 250 gold each.
I sheepishly hand all of mine to Opal.
How can I
probably do
hold
the
all
same.
these diamonds?
You know, like Opal.
All right,
She
let me.
probably would be the most wealthy woman if she just walked away from this party right now. Just
I
like
know.
goodbye.
I'll add it to your tabs. Tabs doesn't feel right, but like your accounts, I got it. Yeah, it's fine. Did anybody else expect that to not go well and for them to not just let us leave? I'm not convinced that.
I was expecting it to be rigged, and they were gonna claim they won, and we would have had to fight. It was gonna be a whole thing in my head.
But you know what, Hector? I'm really proud of you for what you pulled in there, and I appreciate you taking one for the team on that.
Yeah, absolutely. As I pull out the sending stone, and I'm just like, I'm actually kind of excited for this. I have a lot of like ideas and curious about like what could happen. And then he just kind of like spins it. Globetrotter spins it on his finger, and then like puts it back in his inventory and everything.
All right, you gotta lay off the alcohol. Anyways, Michael, how long have we been gone?
Oh, well, you just left.
Awesome. I was really afraid of what that answer was gonna be too. Cool.
It's been 5 centuries. Yeah.
Well, I am a song forge, so I could. I don't know how long I last. So I could stay until here, although the animals probably would have either disappeared or died. But
That's a good point. The animals were a good indicator that I am still just too weirded out by what just happened to really process that.
So what did happen? And you guys, as you continue down the road, can give Michael the tale as this day of travel ends.
Yay! All right, take off my
Take
take off
off.
my chef's coat for him.
And Karis has little muslin sacks for everyone with the leftovers of the food because not everything gets eaten. She was thinking ahead.
Nice.
I'm gonna give a
Guys,
little bit to
Especially a
Tim.
special one just for Michael since Michael couldn't be there for all of the fun. And she didn't want Michael to miss out on a really good meal.
Oh well, yeah. I don't actually eat, but I do. I can sense the food, and so they're gonna if you open up one of your bags, they're gonna. That is wonderful.
You could probably feed it to the big cat, make friends.
I would very
That's
much
true.
like to make friends with Pavarti. And they, I don't think they trust me just yet, but I can work on that.
It'll help. Food always helps.
All
Be a little
right.
bit fickle sometimes, but she'll warm up to you.
As you guys walk along, make your camp, and get ready for the last day of travel. Hector, go ahead and roll me a d20.
All right. Natural 20.
20.
Ooh.
Let's
Oh,
see
okay. I
here.
don't know if you can see it.
For a second, I forgot that you were up
Wait.
next in the random what happens while we're traveling encounters, and I
There
was
it
like,
is.
"What
There it is.
happened with this brain?"
Right?
No.
That might be if there's a season 2, we might find out. We'll leave that to Hector to figure out. He's the one dating
brain's an
a
NPC.
brain in the jar. All right. So with the natural
Before
20,
beauty.
as you guys are walking down the road, you guys there's a bend as the road sort of turns around a foresty area, and you hear it sounds like flute music coming from around the bend. As you approach, you see what looks like some sort of person in armor, a bear, a goat, and a cow. And they seem to be moving around. The person is clearly dancing. The bear is sort of doing some weird bear approximation of dancing. The goat seems to be doing like chewing as goats do, but it seems to be moving its hooves. And the cow is also chewing and just sort of moving its hooves. Neither of them seem they both seem neutral about this. The bear every once in a while lets out a and you hear a tired help me from the sounds like a lady soldier in that's apparently being made to dance. And you see the source of this, a tall humanoid with surprisingly short arms is playing a flute, happily playing while this little audience dances. And you can see from the features of this person, they've got a sort of a pug nose, ruddy red, curly hair, and sort of slightly pointed ears as they are, and like I said, so surprisingly short arms as they're playing this flute. They are easily probably about 6'5", 6'6", so they're kind of tall, just very strangely proportioned as they're sort of moving and dancing and playing, and that's the scene that you see.
I would like to do perception to try to see if I recognize, I don't know, like if they're doing a particular dance or just kind of what's happening.
Sure, go ahead and
Because
make that
anything
perception.
dealing with dance, Dia is gonna instantly hone in on. I feel.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna look over to Opal and be like, "Are we gonna miss this? Or should we just like walk around and just bypass it?"
I feel like we should help.
Oh, that's only a
them.
12.
Okay. You this isn't any dance that you recognize, but you can it's pretty clear that, especially from the soldiers' distress, that this is not something that they're choosing to do. That this, whatever music this is compelling this set of creatures to dance.
And seeing that, Dia is going to yell out, "You there! What are you doing to these poor people and the animals? One does not force someone to dance. One dances from the heart. I'll let you know."
Oh, well, we didn't mean anything by it. We were just having a party. Yeah, party, right, guys? And you see the soldier still seems to be under the effect. And strangely, you still hear music, even though they've put down their flutes. He said, "We're just having some fun. These creatures they didn't know how to have fun, so I'm helping them have fun."
Hector's chest puffs out and he goes, "Are you saying you're a better musician than me?" And then he like marches over with his trumpet, like
Hector. Oh, all right.
And then he,
I am definitely a very good musician here. Watch as I make chords with myself. And they start playing their flute, and you hear kind of it. They're making harmonies and stuff. So he's able to make harmonies and with this, and then as they start playing again, the dancing sort of continues anew, and they're like, everyone go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw. The half elves, I believe, get advantage on this.
I have a -1. Okay.
Oh boy, I'm trying to see if I don't think I've got anything that helps any of this. Hector,
okay, there we go.
We went over this. Stop using the virtual dice. I see them when they pop up. They're betraying you.
I know.
They're betraying you.
They don't like you at all.
God.
I got an 11.
Okay.
I also
I
got
got
11.
This is a saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. 15.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
21. I'm glad I got a chance to have advantage on that.
Yeah.
It was way lower.
This is a charm effect, so half elves just naturally get advantage.
That's true.
So Hector and Karis, you feel, as you're listening to the music, your feet are starting to move. Starting to get in the groove.
He had to play ska, didn't he? And I just
and yeah, they keep playing. Like, see, isn't this fun? Yeah, we're just having some fun, and they start playing some more.
Hector, are you having fun?
not willingly. And then he like has a mad face as he dances with enthusiastic.
It's like imagine like grumpy river dance.
Exactly.
I think Adia's really confused by this. Is there a way for her to do insight to try to get insight into this?
Sure, go ahead and roll an insight check. Yeah.
Man, I wish I had dispel magic.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Hold on. I think that's pretty high. That's 25.
All right. So you and especially your dancer's eye, your bardic eye sort of takes in this scene. You can definitely tell that this is some sort of magical compulsion from the music. You did notice earlier that even though that this person had stopped playing, they were still able to produce music. and they don't appear to be a song forged like Michael that just has instruments built in. You do notice, though, in the middle of the robes of this person, you see a weird movement.
He's got a gun. I'm just kidding.
So in seeing that and kind of being upset with kind of what's going on, because that goes against everything that Dia's been taught by her mother when it comes to dance and people enjoying dance and not being forced to enjoy a beautiful art like dance. She's going to take her trident from the side of Pravarti, and she's going to point it. I know what it is that you're doing, and you will stop it right now.
So one other thing to note as you make this threat, and I'll let you choose where you make this threat, because you did catch that a second ago he referred to himself as we rather than I.
This is like
And-
3 kobolds
and
in a
that
trench
means-
coat. Like
Seeing
So
that,
you-
she's like, that means all of you.
No, it's just me.
I know
You can
when
stop
someone's
playing.
lying.
is the flute metal?
Realize that it could be metal. Let's see.
Yeah.
It is metal.
Cool.
It's a I was doing it like this. No, it's a more modern flute. And you definitely, and you catch them by surprise. No, it's just me here. Just just having some fun. I am.
So, am I too enchanted to cast Zone of Truth?
No, you and Hector are both like
Suspicious.
have like a level of dance. You haven't gotten to the point where you're restrained and can't move anymore. You can still move and cast spells. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna give a little drum beat, little hoof stamp.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
And,
play harder.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and cast Zone of Truth.
all right.
And D is definitely using intimidation on them as well.
What's your DC?
14.
Okay. You see that the zone descends on this beings maybe, and you see them go, "Chickies up, bye, cheese it," and they start running. And you see now that this being is moving, you can definitely see that it is even more disproportionate than you thought. Its legs seem very stubby, and it seems like it's having trouble keeping balance as it tries to.
Dia yells out, "Stop where you stand!" And she's doing hold person, casting hold person with her trident.
Okay.
Am I still under the influence of dancing, or can I like dance move over there?
You can dance move over there. Yeah,
All
you're
right,
still.
I'm gonna moonwalk over and then, and then take off one of my shoes and like throw it at them.
Okay, so we're gonna say you cast hold person at the one that you can see. So immediately the top part of this creature stops and falls to the ground. The robes keep you also see another creature kind of in the middle of the robes also stops moving and falls. The legs, however, keep going as they rolled a 16. But the other two didn't.
I want to cast polymorph on the one that's still going.
Okay.
I think it's a DC. Sorry, let's see. DC 17
All right.
wisdom.
They rolled a natural 20 as you see the robes still trying to move away. They don't seem to be moving very fast though, because they were at the bottom. And so the robes are covering their head. So they're kind of running around with like a chicken with his head cut off. But you do see frozen before you, Dia, is one gnome that had a flute and it's not moving. You see a second gnome that's on the ground. It also had a flute and it still looked like it was in the process of playing. And then you see the other gnome that's kind of running around.
Okay, so Dia is going to approach. She's going to do kind of a twirl with her her trident, slam it down beside her, and then she's going to try to basically snatch the flutes from the hands of the two gnomes.
And you are able to do so as they are frozen in place. You're able to just like, and they're like, for you, they would be piccolos. They're almost full-size flutes for these gnomes. But yes, you encountered 3 gnomes in a robe.
I would like to do Arcana on the little flutes that they had.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Are the bears mauling the female knight?
As the second flautist has stopped, you guys, their dancing sort of slows down. And when they get to the point, and you guys, the effect falls from you faster than it does them. As they kind of come down, the soldier it's like drops to her hands and knees and is just like breathing hard. And the bear runs, like the bear is freaked out and just runs off into the forest. the goat and cow, they go back to eating the grass.
Before the I was gonna say before the third gnome gets too far away, when I feel it's about 475 feet away, I want to cast Dimension Door and put myself right in front of them.
Okay, you do so, and as they're running around, you appear, and then boom, they bump in front of you and fall kind of on their butt, and you see all of them sort of have the same sort of ruddy, curly red hair. They're all clearly different, but you think that they all might be related. They seem to be about the same age and similar facial features. All of them are guys, guy gnomes, and they well, 2 of them are still frozen. The other one kind of on its behind, sort of like kind of shuffles back. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna take out my rapier and just point it at him and say, "Come back with me," and I'll point to where he just ran from.
Okay. So he gets up, he puts his hands up, and he starts walking back to the group. And you guys all see Lyric bringing back the third gnome.
I'm gonna check on the soldier and just see if it's like if she is just exhausted or if she actually appears to, for having done this for so long, have sustained any injuries. Like if she could use a little healing bump.
Yeah, she could probably use a little healing. She
right.
seems mostly, you see her feet are very sore. Okay. She seems to be not a shield, but a soldier from Yartar.
Okay.
And you look at her, you having been around Yartar, you see that this person is a sergeant in their army.
Okay. I'm gonna drop a first level cure wounds on her, and that gets her 9.
Yeah, and you see that makes her feet look. If she had taken off her boots, and her feet look like a mess, but as under your care, they look a lot better. She slips back on her boots, stands up. So, well, thank you for that. I was making my way back to Yartar and ran into these.
Making my way.
We'll take care of that. I think you've earned a rest, and I'm gonna hand her 5 of my platinum. Be like,
her eyes get so wide. She's like,
go treat yourself. Get a nice spa day. Get a good massage.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, I'm very sure. Take some time for you before you get back to work. That did not look fun. I don't care what those little jerks say.
She sheathes her sword. She picks up a spear that had been close by, more like a pike. And she's like, okay, you've got this. Thank you.
Yeah, we got it.
With shoe in hand, I hobble over to Karis and be like, should we steal their shit? As I look over to the gnomes.
Go over and take their shit.
Yeah.
Karis just tilts her head at him like, haven't you learned anything in our time together?
And Lyric,
the answer is always yes.
Yes. Lyric just looks indignant that you gave the 5 platinum and no scolding, no nothing.
Yeah, this soldier, she heads back up the road. She's like, she makes haste. She's like, I don't know what just happened, but I got 5 platinum. And all I had to do was like dance for like a day.
Dia didn't figure out because she only got like an 8 on the Arcana, so she's gonna turn to the rest of the group Opal, Karis, and Lyric, and Hector, you are all more acquainted and familiar with various instruments. That's not my area of expertise. Do you know what type of magic is on these things that they were
I'll kind of
playing?
I'll kind of poke the gnome in the back with my rapier.
Oh, yeah, because it's the only one that can talk. The other two still
Yeah.
frozen. The gnome is like, well, we found them. We discovered a treasure in the woods, and it was 3 of these, and you can see that they've got one too. They seem to they like when we would play them, creatures would dance, and we were just having so much fun. Like we would make the birds dance, and then we made the bear dance, and well, that lady came, and she looked real dangerous, so we made her dance too because we were afraid she was going to hurt us.
You're probably right.
I mean, maybe not like on the front end she was going to hurt you. I'm sure she does want to do that right now.
Yeah, she looked like she really wanted to hurt us.
Yeah,
so-
she's not alone.
Yeah, for good reason.
So they take the flute out of his pocket and hands it over, and is like, so we're good.
We'll be
then?
taking those. These
What?
are ours now. Thank you.
What else did you find in your forest treasure? Because if we run into you doing some shenanigans like this again and you didn't tell us, it's going to not be so good. for you.
No. Go ahead and make an intimidation check, actually.
Oh, good. I was about to say Opal's not good at these. I lied. I have a +12. I'm very good at these.
You're
I
excellent at
forgot.
these.
That's why you're a
Let's get it.
manager. You're like,
and you
"Whoa."
have bardic inspiration still.
And
Exactly.
yes. There we go. All right.
And Dia's just kind of like basically like where she did another twirl with her trident, and then she kind of like basically puts it right underneath his chin to like
Nice.
basically.
And I haven't
let
used
him
my
know
player
that.
advantage yet, so like might
Yeah,
as well.
go for
All right. 15, 27.
Oh, they
Yeah,
are plenty
If you
intimidated.
roll- this little ragamuffin seems like, as you look into their little beady eyes, they seem like troublemakers. So they seem like the kind that, yeah, you let them go and they might come back for some shit. You have scared the daylights out of him. You can tell.
The mom voice is happening. No one
Exactly.
can resist the mom voice.
And you being a fire ganassi, your hair sort of like maybe flames up a little.
Yeah.
You've got a lot going for you in the intimidation department, as you can tell that this gnome has been cowed. It's like, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Here, yeah. You've got the flutes. Yeah, they're yours. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
we're all good.
Answer my question. Did you find anything else in
No,
that?
no, ma'am, no.
Are you lying to my
No,
friend
I
here?
swear.
Okay.
You've got your trident, like you're kind of doing the lift his chin with your sword sort of thing. and
Yes, pretty
he's
much.
like-
Yeah.
and he's like, no. I promise, I swear.
Okay. I hope we learned a very important lesson
We did.
about the importance of consent across the board, whether it's dancing or whatever. You cannot force people or creatures, cows, whatever. You cannot force somebody to do something they do not want to do. If somebody
Okay.
wants to dance with you, they will dance with you. And if they don't, you need to leave them alone.
All right.
Do not taint such a beautiful art like dance ever again.
I'll
Do
never
you
dance again.
understand?
Yes. I'll never dance again.
Hmm.
And you see this gnome back up, goes over to the 2 other gnomes, grabs them by the back of their shirts and start dragging them to the forest.
And Dia does lift the whole person.
Hey, so are we okay? Are they gonna kill us? You hear this conversation as they're dragged into the woods. And there's no sign of the bear. The cow and goat are still there.
They look fine.
Artie's not hungry, I hope.
They keep eating grass. Yeah, they're fine. All right, that was 3 gnomes in a row.
Where was Michael during all this?
Probably just watching it.
Just watching. They are they are quite impressed by your ability to diffuse all of that without anyone dying. Very different than the last time they saw you diffuse a situation where everyone died.
Michael, look over there. Is it like knock an arrow?
Karis is going to put an arm around Michael's shoulder and explain to them. So sometimes diplomacy. Sometimes if you just nudge in just the right way and maybe cast just the right spell, you can get the truth out of somebody without having to kill them. Just a trick, just a little. It's skill. We'll help you refine it, but it's a good one to know. It's not always bloody and scary.
That's good. Yeah, this is definitely. Glad you guys are the ones taking me to school. You taught me so much.
Karis just pats Michael on the back and says, I know, I prefer the happy way too, but sometimes you gotta be scary, I guess.
Opal's really good at doing that. You never want to get on her bad side.
Yeah.
The real fun is when you can say really nice things and still scare them. And then they're just kind of like a smile and turn.
It's a good skill to have. Intimidation is something, some of us have to learn. Like, I'm not real good at it being intimidating on my own, but with a little practice, you can really, really turn it on when you need to. We'll get you there.
Yeah. The important part is everybody's got skills they're good at, and not everybody needs to be intimidating. It just happens to be something that I can get a decent result from it. If that's not your deal, if there's other ways to be diplomatic, and then you can always stab somebody if you need to. And I just turn.
We'll find your strength. We'll find your way.
Put my rapier away.
As you guys continue on, the rest of the day is unremarkable. The next day, as you pass over a hill, you see before you the jewel of the Sword Coast, the absolute pinnacle of cities, Waterdeep. You can see it from here. It's vast amount of buildings going into the biggest harbor you've ever seen, ships everywhere. You can even hear the din of the city from this far away. You're coming in from the north, so you pass through the north gate. You do join a pretty good amount of traffic of travelers going in and out. There's a wagon in front of you and a wagon behind as you're kind of walking, and it's been a while ever since Yartar that you've been around this many people. As you pass through the gate, you see the vast troll wall on the north that was built to keep out trolls, and you see a lot of people walking down what you know as the High Road in Waterdeep, one of the main avenues. As you get into the city, you ask around for directions to the new Oleum Bard College, and you are pointed down south toward nearest to the City of the Dead. It's the college is apparently near the intersection of the High Road and the and Waterdeep Way. So you head that way, and as you get closer to that area, you see where sort of smaller streets intersect and go further into the neighborhood that the college is in. But as you get to those smaller streets, you find that they've been blocked off. There are guards. Some of the Waterdeep guards are standing there and just keeping people out and not letting anyone proceed. And as you approach the guard in charge, like, hold up there. Sorry, trouble at the college. We're keeping everyone away. Don't worry. The adventurers have been sent in, and I'm sure they'll resolve the problem. And as he mentioned this, you do hear a bit in the distance into this neighborhood the faint sounds of battle. You hear a spell go off, you hear hoo ha ha and metal clanging against each other, and it's like, yeah, the gods, we're just keeping everyone out, and there's no need to go in. The adventurers have it. It's a hearty group that has done some work with us before, so no need to get yourselves involved. We'll just wait until they've dealt with the problem, and then everything will be fine.
Can I insight to see if he's actually confident they're gonna actually resolve this.
Sure, give me insight checks. Whoever wants to make it.
Yes. I was like trying to Mike be like, "Welp, looks like a
Like,
good time to go to the
Ooh.
brothel."
Yeah, it's like if
That's
he's
good sounding.
convincing himself or not. 16.
Okay.
Only have
17
14.
plus 4.
Yeah, I hit 14 as well.
All right. So you guys, when they started talking, he seemed very confident that this was the case. He's mentioned the adventurers were going to take care of it, and he was sure that they would. When he's going through his spiel about, oh, don't worry, the adventurers, they've been with us before, they'll be able to handle this. And as you notice that the din of battle starts to lower, and you don't hear as many sounds. And as you notice that the guard also notices, he looks over his shoulder, and at the end of the conversation, they're not as confident. They keep saying, nope, the adventurers have it. There's no need to go in there.
What exactly are they dealing with?
Oh, I'm not sure. Monster popped up. You know how things are. Monster pops up, adventurers handle it. And I'm sure they are handling it.
Right.
Would you pay us money if we helped?
It's not in my authority to do so, but again, I'm sure. And he kind of like leans back. Arthur, go check and make sure that they've. Thank you, Arthur. And one of the guards kind of like you see him clanking away down the street, a block or two into the neighborhood.
I just start counting seconds in my head before I hear a yell or scream come from this guy.
A blood curdling scream.
When basically he's kind of trying to divert the attention and act like nothing's wrong, Dee is going to go into her bag at her side and pull out a very familiar liquid that the others are familiar with, that kind of looks like a little bit of charcoal water, and she kind of gives it a little shake. And she's like, you seem a bit stressed. I have just the thing for you. It's from Musatari. It's a very special potion, and you're going to feel as good as new. Why don't you
Make
take
a
it?
persuasion check real quick.
Yes. Nat 20!
Nice.
All
okay.
right.
I was gonna give
So-
you inspiration too. Yeah.
Oh, I love exotic drinks. I prefer the spring water from Rivermanton myself. We get those in. This is wonderful. He drinks it.
And that is a truth serum, that the last one that she had on her person. So,
And as he drinks it, you feel that maybe its effects took hold.
ooh.
He's 3 on a dead body and 1 on a guard.
He's allergic to it. He has like.
Oh my
That's
gosh!
not
Like,
even
make
an-
a Constitution saving throw.
It's not even an aspect of D&D I've thought of. What if someone's allergic to a
Exactly.
potion?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Not
I've been
Pathfinder,
sleeping
thank
on
goodness.
this.
Well, I have antitoxin. We're
there you go.
okay.
I have a monk in a private game that I play, and when she got the diamond body where you don't get disease anymore,
Oh yeah.
she had some relations after that and was just like, I don't have to worry.
I know.
So benefits of this is why Beauregard is also very lucky, because she can do whatever she wants, and
Yeah.
And her monkness takes care of it. Anyway, moving on.
So then after that,
Nope.
Dia is like,
Yeah.
so would you like to tell us what is in fact going on with there?
Well, it's just that just now I heard the battle sort of taper off, and I did not hear a yell of victory from the adventurers. Their fighter is very loud in that respect, but I didn't hear it, so I'm a little worried. That's why I sent Arthur. And he
Maybe-
realizes that he just like verbally diarrheaed all over you guys.
and that's okay, because Karis is just going to match that energy and be like, I understand that with the sound of the battle, it was the sound of the battle. If you didn't hear him shout a cry of victory, maybe we should go check it out, because we're adventurers too. So
He looks
Adventurers
at
for
all your
hire.
instruments and says, so you're just band of bards.
I'm sorry. Did you say just?
well,
Just bards.
Just
no.
he
that-
thinks we're
it's
just bards.
it is truthfulness. He's like, well, normally bots I see have a barbarian with them, or a wizard, or a cleric.
Karis holds up her great axe.
And then
I
Dia holds up
see.
her trident.
Fair
Are
enough.
Are you saying we're not intimidating?
Lyric, don't be silly. He would never
I would never.
say
that's-
something like that.
I
would
did see.
you?
I must say, a bunch of people carrying instruments isn't what I consider a effective adventuring party. But who am I? I'm just a god. Sure.
Well, let me tell you a story then, and I'm going to take as close to exactly 1 minute as possible to just explain kind of a little bit of our adventures. And at the end of it, I'm going to need him to make a.
Well, so hold on, because during your
Spade.
story, Arthur comes running back very quickly, and they're dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. And then this guard looks at you and it's like, so you were offering to help?
So, Hector, you were discussing payments.
Opal, you were going to discuss our payment with.
And Michael kind of goes, maybe we should just go help. His people are dead.
We'll circle back to this. I'm sure the city guard would not dare try to shortchange us for saving their asses. So let's go.
And you guys give. I'm sure you guys have a card or something, and you get the guard's name, so you know who to ask for later when this gets resolved.
I have your name, Arthur. Like...
It was guardsman Tim was the one you had run into, who is the Sergeant Tim with the truth serum. Yeah. So you guys get Sergeant
I look at
Tim's
Tim on my
information.
shoulder and just kind of smile.
As you guys run to the college, you see that as you're passing, you do see what look like civilians sort of like taking cover and hiding behind like crates and in windows, and they look up every once in a while and look back down. As you get to what you figure is the college, it is two buildings that are on a side of the street. It's not a full like college campus like a state college that we would have. It's seemingly two buildings joined by a courtyard in this one area. And as you come into the street, right immediately in front of the college, the scene is presented to you. You see an elf in robes lying in the street. You see a human with a giant greatsword, and they are sort of hunched over, still grasping their greatsword. They have it embedded in what looks like a demon with a gnarly beard that is just twitching and then stops as this bearded fiend is apparently dying. And as you see it, it starts fading away as demons who die in the material plane do, and this fighter just clunks over with his greatsword in a heap. You also see one half of an elf, or I'm sorry, a halfling on one side of the street. The other half is on the other side of the street. It looks like it was carrying a couple of daggers, and its eyes are just kind of looking straight up as it's been apparently bisected and put on different ends of the street. And finally,
isn't gonna fix that.
Finally, there's a dwarf in full plate armor carrying a hammer, and he is being held by a creature, a winged creature that is hovering about 10 feet off of the ground. She is in armor, like plate armor, but it looks like it's been badly damaged. It's sort of like falling off in several places. She herself looks bloody. It looks like she has just come off of a rather epic fight, but she's holding this dwarf and pulls her glaive out of him and drops him and says, I have defeated this pathetic band of looks over to you. Her shoulders slump. It's like, come on. I just killed these guys.
Yeah, see, that
Dia's
was
casting
the problem.
Shield of Faith on Michael immediately.
All right, Michael, we're
Yes.
gonna need you to go to dead bodies and get all their stuff and then put it in this bag.
No, Hector.
How many of you assholes are there?
Wow, rude.
Well,
Why are you
Pardon
here?
me?
Why are you here? Let's start with that.
she looks extremely flustered as her wings. You also see that her wings are sort of have a metallic sheen. These giant feathery wings that she's using to hover. She has horns and beautiful but sharp features. Even through the wounds that she's taken, clearly has been burned a little and lightened a little to her armor. And you do notice that some of the bodies have these what looks like maybe metallic feathers embedded in them. And she says, all I wanted to do was infiltrate the Bard College for my master, and in 100 years or so, turn out great songs to Asmodeus.
You know,
But
do you realize how what you just said was problematic? Did you hear yourself?
Well, hold
it's
on. What
fine for
instrument do you play?
Asmodeus, and I wasn't supposed to be seen. But that one, and you look, and there are a couple more bodies on the street. A human and another elf. They seem to have been carrying instruments, but they're both down with feathers in there. They're like, one of them looked like they had a viola of some sort. It's broken. Its bow is broken. The other one seemed to have some sort of like very large, like saxophone almost, and it's broken into the street, and both of them are down. And this creature continues, they somehow saw through my disguise. So I figured I would just kill everyone. They would try again in a few years to create this new college, and then I would be able to come back. But no, they had to figure me out. Now they're dead, but...
Okay, again with the problematic thing. You can just want to learn how to play music. Yeah, they saw through your thing.
Yeah, we need a drummer. Do you know how to drum?
We got like a whole
Top
thing
liver.
going on here. We're very
I mean,
inclusive
we've got
here.
Karis to drum.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right.
No, you guys have seen too much. And if I'm going to be trying this again, I mean, it's just what's a few more dead bards, right?
All right,
And
well, if
she
you feel like
unfurls
that.
her wings, and everyone needs to roll initiative.
Okay.
All
I know
things
exactly
considered,
what
Before
surrenders in order.
now, question: before that happened, would it be possible for Dia to have done another spell to kind of boost Michael a bit?
Sure.
So basically, she will have in a hurry grabbed a saffron powder from her purse, and she places it onto Michael's forehead, and she's like, "May Kali protect you during this, and hopefully we make it through it."
Go hide in a crate. Yeah, it's like
Yes, and then basically it's adding 2d6 temporary hit points to Michael.
Okay.
So let me roll that, and that's 9 temporary hit points.
Okay. And do either one of the people with squirrel companions want to activate certain items that they have?
Parachute your friends out.
Yeah, we can do it. Let's do it. Let's launch a squirrel escape system.
So as
I'm gonna actually pick up Tim and physically throw him, and he, as he ignites the rocket, I'll say, "He's not flying. He's falling with style."
if you were to see this squirrel, you would see its squirrely cheeks going as it's flying through the air. The rocket ignites. You see Al's rocket follow behind it, and both parachutes deploy. So they are away from the battle and safe. Okay.
is the demon attractive? That's my question.
She is extremely attractive.
Kind of feel bad for her. I don't really want to kill her. Can we send her? Can we throw her like a sensu bean
It'd be
so it's
so
at least
good.
fair?
It'd be so good for marketing if we got her to join the band. Like,
Yeah, well, but she said
You
no, and we
all
just had that whole
need to
conversation.
think.
All right. Let's see. Initiatives 25 to 21.
22.
22. That's what you got last time. You were literally on my initiative tracker as 22. All right.
I rolled a natural 18. I would be happy to show you my die. if
No,
you
that's
would like.
fine. I believe you. All right. 20 to 15.
20.
19.
Okay. Hector is 20. Lyric is 19. Oh, wow. That's way better than you got last time.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So, Dio, what did you get?
12.
12. Okay.
I'm
That's-
concerned for Michael. I want to protect our little guy.
Okay. Michael is going last.
He did make a group of
Karis?
money, so if he dies,
Got 10.
10. Okay.
Savage.
Very. Okay. So it looks like the one going first is once again Opal. Lyric, what is your dexterity modifier?
+2.
+3, I believe.
Okay. Oh, wait. Those
Yes.
are +2. All right. Let's see here. What is her dexterity modifier? Okay. She is going to just edge you out and go before you.
Good. Bring it.
So, all right. First up is going to be Opal. You see this this creature who is clearly, her armor has been damaged. So you figure her AC is probably not as good as it was when this fight first started, and she already looks bloodied.
Cool. We offered to let you join the band, but if you're gonna make it like this, I guess we'll just have to catch you again in a couple of years, huh? And I need to be within 30 feet.
Okay, you can put yourself within 30 feet.
Perfect. Get up to 30 feet. And I need a Constitution saving throw from her as I cast a 5th level Blight.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Does she have... Okay. So you see the magic try to take a hold of her, and you see she
no.
has apparently some resistance to it.
Some
What's
resistance
DC?
is fine. 16. I need one more D8.
16 con.
Where's the D8?
All right. Looks like the spell attempts to take hold of her, and she like muscles through it. Does she take any damage?
Yeah, she still takes half.
Okay.
8, 10, 18, 25, 26, 28, 31, 36, 42. So 42 halved.
Okay. Wow.
98, yo.
98. All right.
Yes.
And okay.
And
So
just
you
a
move.
reminder to people listening, you could donate money to give max damage.
Yes.
Oh wow, that would have been nasty.
Oh, that would have been so good.
All right. So that was Opal. So Hector, you are next.
Oh, and I'm gonna give Michael a wink, give him an inspiration in case he needs to save against something.
Okay. They take it, and you see them. Oh, all of a sudden, Michael is standing there, and they have like a shield of faith. They've got. If you were to look at Michael with a detect magic, they would be fucking glowing with all the stuff you've given them.
but is he picking up the dead people's stuff? That's my question.
They are not. That is more. Listen, they're going to need a few more years on the road after
We're gonna
college
talk,
before they
Michael.
get to that point. All right.
Okay.
So speaking of which, it is Hector's turn.
Okay. I'm so tempted to try to seduce this sexy demon lady.
Yeah, do you, man? It's your turn.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and attack first. Let me see here.
You're an attack, then ass out for a date.
Exactly. These could be sexy whip attacks, but right now they're dangerous whip
It's
attacks.
the D&D version of negging is what's happening.
Wow.
So good.
Wow.
All right. Oh, that was nice. All right. So 17 plus 8 is 25 versus AC.
Okay, 25. They try to interpose their blade in between them and their whip, but you were able to get through.
Okay, perfect. You don't need advantage on attack roll. Is anyone within 5 feet of the target?
No.
No? Dang. All right. Sneak attack does not work then. Okay, so it'll be an itty bitty 1d4 plus 4. So that's 6 damage.
All right. Is your weapon silvered or magic?
It is magic. It's a +1.
Okay, excellent. So they take it, and all right, you see the whip sort of and leave like a line on her face, and her face already has some bruises and blood on it. She looks back at you. I'm gonna. Oh, it's on now. And at the end of your turn, I should have done this. I keep forgetting legendary actions.
Oh, God, legendary actions, wonderful.
She is going to. What did I give her for legendary actions? Let's see.
I was saying some
And
ready to
don't
call my
forget,
sugar daddy.
if you're within 10 feet of Dia, you have the aura protection, so +3 to saving throws, guys.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. So she is going to very quickly. One of her wings beats, and actually no, Opal, you did a number on her. You see as her wing beats, a steel feather flies your direction. See, what is your AC?
Not good. 13.
The steel feather hits you and impacts, and you see it now up close. That is, it's a metal feather that has impacted you, and so you are going to take 7 piercing damage plus 13 poison damage, and go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. 18.
18. Okay. You feel an ill effect coming from the wound, but you are able to flex the muscle and force the steel feather dagger out of you, and before the poison takes hold, so you are not poisoned. It is now her turn. She is going to fly up to Hector and say, "Darling, that was adorable." She swings her glaive around and brings it down on you. What is your AC?
It is a 16.
All right. She cuts into you for 9 slashing damage and 13 poison damage.
Okay, so
Is that like all of your HP?
So thankfully I'm a rogue, so uncanny dodge. When an attacker you can see hits you with attack, use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you. So I'm going to do that. So is that the total, or is that just a slash?
That's the total. That's total.
That's total. Okay,
so it's going to be it's 22 total damage.
22, so it'd be 11, and then I do, as a green dragonborn, I do have a resistance to poison.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you would probably have the 9, so 4.
5 or 4.
So you do 4 because that's you resistance works for your benefit, and then the poison you would have and then have again, so that would be what, 6 and then 3. So they see this, and she's like, "Oh, you're tougher than I thought." She brings it around again on you.
I wink.
All right. She
my
hits you
guts
again
fly out. Yeah.
for another 9 slashing, and then I guess your that resistance doesn't go away, so 6 poison.
Okay. So you said 9 and 6?
Yes.
Okay.
How you looking?
Let me see here. Entering that number. On a scale of 1 to 43, a 19.
Okay. She is going to then, she still doesn't like Opal, so she's going to send another. You see your wing beat, and another dagger flies at you.
Cool.
What'd you say your AC was?
13.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get hit by this every time.
Yes. So you take another 7. Let's see, 7 piercing and 13 poison, and go ahead and make another saving throw.
Did she throw the
Nope.
dagger, or did she run over and
So her wing sort of like beats very quickly, and a feather releases from it.
Okay. I was thinking if opportunity attack was a thing, but no, that's not.
Nope, I failed. That's super fail. That was a 5.
All right, you feel the poison this time start taking you, and you feel weakened as it starts to take over. You are poisoned.
Perfect. I've not had to deal with that. Just means I have disadvantage on stuff.
Yeah, pretty much
Okay.
disadvantage on most things.
Okay, cool.
And,
I'll look
and you
it up
feel
in the
like this is a
meantime.
resilient poison for some reason.
Okay.
Anyway, so that was her turn. She's going to stay up on Hector. Yeah, she's going to try
Gross.
and finish him in a
Gross.
bit. Finish him in game. And it is
Getting worse.
Lyric, your turn.
Okay. She's not airborne then, right? She's kind of down.
She came down, and even though she is she's not airborne, she's still sort of floating just a couple of inches off the ground with her wings beating. So but effectively, yes, she's on the ground.
Okay. I will activate my boots and join her, just kind of floating. And in fact, I will go kind of like above her, kind of diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make a stab upon her with my rapier.
Okay.
So I will use the advantage from Togepi. Thank you. I was hoping for a nat 20, but I didn't get it. It's 21.
Okay.
No, 22. Sorry.
22. All right. Once again, she tries to put her sword in front of her and parry the attack, but she is just a little too slow as your attack connects. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna activate my psychic blades as well, so it'll be an additional. I was trying to see if it's an additional 4d6 or 3. I'll go with 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
You can stop rolling damage now.
That's a total of 14.
All right.
Most of it's psychic.
Most of it's psychic, huh?
If that affects anything.
Let me see. Is your weapon silvered or magic?
I don't believe so. No. So
Okay.
it would be a total of 7. Actually, I guess it's half and half. So 7 piercing, 7 psychic.
Okay, so the psychic would still do full damage, but the piercing wouldn't. So I think that's just 3 less damage. So okay, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, still effective. Still look like it hurt real bad. All right, and Lyric, is that the end of your turn?
I'm going to look to Karis and see if I can do this really quick. I'm here to build you up, Karis, so that you can take her down and mess her around. And then best of all, there's one big baddie here for you to kill. And I know you will, I need you. So here's some inspiration. This song really comes from my heart. I'll build you up, Karis, tear her apart.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Very nice.
Incredible.
And thank you, Lyric, for that. Once again, that song. And it is now Dia's turn.
Well, Dia's going to pull out.
Hang on. Actually, before your turn, she is.
Sure.
You see that. Let's see. She's going to do this. She really doesn't like Hector or Opal or any of you guys. You know what?
Yes.
No, actually, Lyric, you're a new person. You see her feathers sort of whip out, and at the end of your turn, I think technically, does a 15 hit you? Does a 15 hit you, Lyric? Uh-oh, we can't hear Lyric anymore.
I think he said yes. I think.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
His
All right,
subtitles are still
so-
working.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
All right, whatever.
So, Lyric, you are going to take with that steel feather attack. What did I say? It's like 7 piercing and 13 poison. And go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 20.
All right. You feel the poison start to take a hold, but again, you flex and you force it out, so you are not poisoned. Dia, sorry, lots of interruptions. Go ahead.
No. Totally fine. Dia pulls out her scimitar and she points it in the direction the enemy, and she says, "As a servant of Kali, I shall use the strength that she has provided to bring down her wrath upon you, you fiend." And she's going to channel divinity of your enemy. And there, that is a DC 15 to save.
Okay. Oh, they do not save. She does not
Okay,
save.
so that, and fiends and undead have disadvantage on the saving throw. So she's a fiend, correct?
Yes, I don't know that it would matter that she rolled lower than that because she
perfect.
rolled pretty
Okay.
low.
And then basically on the failure, the creature is frightened and its speed is reduced to 0 and for a minute until it takes damage. But she's going to also to Valinimity as a bonus action and to gain advantage on attack rolls against her on her next turn.
All right. Yeah, so you see for the first time in this fight, even though she had been not doing very well, a look of fear enters her piercing eyes, and they go wide as you come up on her to attack. So go ahead and make your attacks.
Yes. Okay, and the first attack is 26. Oh my god.
Yeah,
let me do the second one is, oh my goodness, that was a high roll too. 23. 26 and 23.
You see her try to get her sword. She has an ability to add AC as a reaction, and she's not been able to. You guys have been just blowing by her AC. All right,
and
go ahead and roll
I
some
believe
damage.
Also too, because of the fact that that was that's for a divine smite. It's I'm gonna do the max. So I'm gonna try to do level. I'm gonna do a 4th level divine smite on her.
Okay.
Which now I have to try to figure out how much damage that is. So that's plus an extra D8. So that's 2D3, 5D8.
It's probably like what, 4? If it's a 4th level, it's like 5D8 or something.
5D8, and then it's plus 1D8 against undead or fiends. So technically 6D8 in addition.
68, and then that's on top of the weapon damage. So
yeah, so 6D8. Okay, so let me do the regular damage right now. So that hit is a 10, and then let me do the 68 to that. One second.
We put the 10 separately here.
So that's 10 plus 31 points of damage.
Dang, leave some demon for me, Dia.
I'll try.
You say that though. Yeah. How do you want to end this fight?
Yes.
So basically, you'll see where with such quickness and such grace, she advances forward at her full speed towards, now that I'm assuming that because of the fact that she was frightened, she probably like kind of shrunk down, or at least now she's no longer, she stopped flying. So she's on the ground, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. She, like her cheeky hover a couple of inches from the ground, Essex style, is not happening. She's like actually like on her footing and not looking great.
So she runs forward, and basically after saying what she said, she's going to do like it's almost like a jump in the air to use her full strength to behead her.
All right.
But basically, instead of the head flying off, she's going to grab the hair of the fiend, and then once she lands, she puts it out before her friends. And then like kind of like where you see there's like such anger and craziness in her eyes, and then she's like, "Oh, we won?"
And Carrie's just like, "Yeah, Dale, wow, you did it! Yeah."
A single tear comes from Hector's.
And then she drops the head, and then she flicks her scimitar that's basically covered in the fiend's blood to sheath it.
As you do this, you see some forms start emerging from the buildings that are around, and you see that all of them are young-looking faces, all with some of them with lutes on their backs. Some of them seem to have other instruments on them, and these appear to be some of the students of the college that had taken cover. And you see one older bird person, essentially, you know them as an Aarakocra, come forward, kind of like come up to you guys and say, "Oh, thank you so much. We were just we were so worried. Hi, my name is Soria, and I'm one of the instructors here at the college. Or I'm one of the few instructors left. We lost a couple here, and it's just, oh, I should try and heal them, I think, and see if any of them can be saved. Oh, what about the students? Are the students okay?" And you see sort of the bird, sort of speed and fast talkiness kind of going over as Soria is sort of is that going over all of the stuff in her mind. There doesn't appear to be a filter there. And oh, I wonder, are all the students okay? What about the people that tried to save us? Are they okay? Looks at one half of the halfling and the other half of the halfling. Maybe not.
Yeah, slightly less okay. Let's focus on the people that we can make okay, and then
Students look great.
Students all look wonderful. I need a bandage.
Make okay financially too.
And you do find that this battle did not take long. Actually, hang on. Let me do some rolls here for.
Can I use a healing word on myself really quick?
Sure, go ahead.
I pick up the fingers that I lost. I got chopped off.
Okay.
I will hold you
Karis,
a trumpet for
we're
you.
going to stay in initiative for just
you.
a second. So you as you kind of after the battle and after Dia has made a statement on her opinion of fiends, you look around. You guys are looking around. For the moment, the elf and the dwarf appear to still be breathing. The human fighter, though, the human with the great sword, his breaths were steady for a second, but they're starting to
Cure wounds, running over cure wounds.
Okay.
Yep. I'll go for the human,
Okay.
and I will, hit with cure wounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the first level, just enough to stop meta death saving throws on.
Yeah,
whoever needs it.
Yeah, you see as you cure the human, you see that you got to him just in time. You hear the dwarf and elf start to hitch a little, and you're able to get to them. The halfling.
Yeah, I can't
Halfling's
fix-
gone.
I can't
Yeah.
fix that. I'm not that good.
So the adventurers that you have saved, as they're in various states of getting on their feet and coming back to consciousness. Well, we had no idea she was that powerful. It was a little more than we could handle. And as you look at these adventurers, you see that you get a sense that they're not as seasoned as you. They seem like they haven't been adventuring quite as long. They seem to look like competent warriors, but you get the impression they're probably, if you had to put a number on it, as we do, maybe level 4 or 5.
Yeah, part of being an adventurer is knowing what your own limits are. So you might need to spend some time ruminating on that for a little while.
Yeah, clearly. Well, thank you. We have a lot to learn, apparently. And as
we all start somewhere.
Exactly.
PTSD kind of goes away after a little bit of time, but it'll.
It doesn't, but we have spells for that.
Yeah.
So,
Alcohol helps.
and Soria comes over and says, "Well, I've got some good news and some bad news. So one of my other instructors, Kenny Baggins the 6th, he is okay. He has survived, but we
Is that
lost
the bad
everyone
news?
else.
Okay.
The bad news is we're the rest of the faculty. When they tried to fight, they're gone.
All of them?
Yeah.
How many were there?
Well, there were 3 others besides us. It's not a very big school. We were just trying to get reestablished, and we were very happy that we had gotten as many students as we had, but we were still growing. So I guess we need to find some new instructors.
That sucks.
Yep, sounds
What
like you
kind
need
of
to do
skills
that.
are you looking for?
Well, we're a bard college.
We're bards.
Let's not all speak for.
I'm bard.
Yes, like I'm saying, like yes, we are all bards. I'm just saying, if you're volunteering, you speak for you.
Yeah, one bar mitzvah can pay us more than a month's wage working for the Bard College, I'm sure.
I'm not even worried about that.
Hector,
Y'all
it's
have
not
noticed
always about money.
I'm not warm and fuzzy, like literally warm, but like the whole student thing, not.
And Michael comes over, and they look down at Soria, who is kind of short. She looks up. But you're Michael. You're Michael. Your father told us about you. Yeah, are you Michael? Welcome. I'm glad you made it. Oh, was it a hard trip? Oh, look at you. You're beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to get to know you and tell you all I've learned. Oh, how was your trip? And Michael's like, and looks down at Soria and looks at and all of you and says, it was a good trip. It was a good trip.
There's our Michael.
And this point, as the camera pulls away from Hector and Opal arguing with Karis over future plans, and Dia is still proud. Dia and Lyric proudly standing over their kill. Michael looking at their new instructor. We're going to say that the camera pulls away and descends below the street.
Oh, awesome.
As you watch the celebration of the heroes, you guys looking after the formerly fallen heroes that you helped descend downward. We pass by the basement of the college, going through the catacombs of the old city of the dead, down to the buried ruins of the first Oleum College. And as it descends deeper, we come to a room with a cloaked figure with long, unnatural fingers playing a maddening tune on an abominable pipe organ, softly chuckling as they make the music of the damned. But that's another story. Thank you guys for participating in a song in the heart. Let's real quick. We're gonna reintroduce everyone and let's have a little short-term epilogue from everyone on what they do next. And we will start once again in reverse order with Karis.
All right. So, did you want to do introductions again, or
let's do introductions again,
Okay.
and go ahead and give us a little epilogue there.
All right. So I'm Vicky. I am Glitter Havoc on all the things, and my character, Karis Lighthoof, the satyr barbarian. She is definitely going to hang out at the college with or without her friends, although she'll keep in touch. But she is very, very eager to help these young students, especially after traveling with Michael and helping them start to get comfortable with more of the nitty gritty about what it really means to be an adventurer and to be a bard. It's not just music. So yeah, she's going to help out at the college.
I feel like your skill set would definitely be a good one for adventurers in training. Whether or not they actually adventure, knowing those things is definitely good. All right. Lyric, Sean. Oh no, we lost the sound again.
Yeah.
Check 1 2.
There we go.
Very
Okay.
quiet, but it is there.
Yeah, you're quiet, so speak up.
Yeah, I think my mic turned down when I played the music. Is it coming back? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort
Yay.
of. Yeah.
So I'm Sean. I'm at DonutDude777 on Twitter. You can find me do ukulele stuff on YouTube. And Lyric will also decide to kind of hang out in Waterdeep. He won't agree to be a full-time professor, but he'll kind of be like a visiting professor. It's like, I'll do a semester, see how it goes, that kind of thing.
All right. Next up, Utahime as Dia.
Hi guys, again, I'm Utahime. You can find me at Utahime Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, here on Twitch, and Brianna DeCoster on Twitter. And yeah, with Dia, I feel like she would have kind of assisted Karis in making sure that because of the fact that there is a lot more to bards than just singing, she would have tried to find an awesome dance bard professor who could basically, she could help kind of train, so that way they had that special college available for College of Grace for the students. And she would of course have to go back to Musatari, since she did have her regal duties that she had to attend to, but she of course likes to come back to Yartar to visit her friends and such. So they're definitely not the last time that they saw Dia. Also too, I want to do one quick shout out again to my friends at Dragon Rock RPG Design for actually allowing me to use College of Grace in this campaign, this mini series, because it was so much fun to basically get in touch with my dancing background in such a fun way. And also to my friend Priya, who was definitely inspiration for this character, because we were both Bollywood dancers. So but she's one of my favorite dancers, and also to a close friend of mine. So had to shout them out one last time.
And quickly, Tim and Al also get hired at the college as maintenance squirrels.
Maintenance squirrels, excellent. All right, Jen as Opal.
Yeah, I'm Jen. I'm the _Lozelda all around the internet. I do a lot of streaming on Twitch, a lot of indie games, a lot of old games or older games, and usually lots of opinions, and also a lot of D&D talk. So there's all of that, and I think for Opal, she will stick around to like help get the college, like get classes kind of like going while they find faculty. She does not want to stay here, but doesn't want all of these students to have like nothing to do and nowhere to go while they sort their stuff out. So she'll stay for a while. Also maybe use some of her sweet talking and maybe a little bit of her intimidation to convince some new faculty that yes, this is where they should be. And before heading back,
you make up a forceful part of the hiring committee. Excellent. Yes. All right, finally, D'Angelo as Hector.
Yeah, my name is D'Angelo Murillo, and it was really fun to play this. You can find me on social media at @_D'Angelo. Hector would have definitely probably got hired because they're so desperate for anyone, but then after multiple affairs with different members of the faculty,
oh no,
and failing the drug test, he probably got kicked out. And
Hector, we really do appreciate all that you've done here, but I think it's time we parted ways. We really appreciate you, but
it was just a little bit of pixie dust.
It's been like 3 days.
It was Hector. This was, and they turned to Opal, who's also sitting on the committee. How many times was this, Opal? 4, 5?
Enough, Hector. We have talked. We gotta get you some help. You gotta talk to somebody. We're clearly working through some stuff and not in a healthy way, and I'm worried about you. But it's not a healthy role model for these students right now.
As long as you
don't worry, Hector. We're here for you, just not in the capacity of an instructor here.
Yeah, no, the band is fine. We're not role models in the band. I'll see you back in Yartar here in a little bit, because this is temporary. And I look back at
everyone.
This is temporary that I'm here, but we will reconvene. Just try not to get in too much trouble while I'm here.
And in the near future, he sends ankle pics to his sugar daddy, Claude.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about
that. Oh
yes,
that's all I'll do there. That's fine. All right, I am Jonathan. You can find me at road_block on Twitter, roadblock actual in other places, and you can actually see me tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central, 10 a.m. I'm sorry, 12. No, it is 12 p.m. 10 a.m. Pacific on the Dungeon Trunks Twitch channel as I stream our team's attempt at day 1 Vault of Glass in Destiny 2. So looking forward to that. Thank you, all of you here, all of my players, DC, Michelle, everyone, Satine for allowing us to come on and giving us a shot here on Gilding Light, Michelle for putting everything together, DC for taking care of us week after week, and then to the players. Hector.
Tomorrow is Satine's birthday stream / Kickstarter celebration from 8 a.m. To 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/Satine Phoenix. So make sure to check that out.
Yes,
Happy
they're going to
birthday,
be
Satine!
they're going to be ending the
Yes, happy
Kickstarter and also having some other good stuff. So yes, be sure and tune in for that. But again, thank you so much for tuning in these last 5 weeks. And who knows, we may be in for some more in the future. We'll see. But for now, thank you so much, and we will see you around. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.